Hello students, welcome to the video class for the subject switchgear and protective devices. So in this subject we will study first we will discuss about the introduction to switchgear. After studying this video session you will able to know about the switchgear, different types of switches, different types of switchgear and protective devices, essential features of switchgear, and then different switchgear equipments like switches. Under switches you will able to know about air brake switch, isolator, then your circuit breaker, then your relay. So these are all about the introduction to switchgear. So this subject is for 6M diploma electrical engineering students. So let's begin with the definition of switchgear. So what is this switchgear? Uh, See, the apparatus used for switching, controlling and protecting the electrical circuit and equipment is known as switch gear. Okay, so under this switchgear is particularly a device which is it is an apparatus which is used for switching, controlling and protecting. Switching means we can turn on and turn off the circuit, we can control the circuit, we can protect the circuit during the fault condition. Okay, so the switching equipment is essentially concerned with switching and interrupting current either under normal or abnormal operating condition. Okay, so under switching you are able to know, see for lower rating of current capacity we can use fuse circuit. Okay, fuse. But for higher rating, for higher rating HRC fuse are used. Similarly, more switchgear devices like circuit breaker, then relay, then isolator, then your lighting arrestor. These are all the protective devices which are used in our power system for the protection of lines and other equipments at high voltage and when carry large currents. Okay, so when short circuit occurs on the system, heavy current flowing through the equipment and may cause considerable damage. So in order to interrupt such heavy fault current, automatic circuit breakers are used. Okay, circuit breaker is a switch gear which can open or close an electrical circuit under both normal and abnormal condition. So these are all about the introduction to switchgear. So next is the essential feature of switchgear. What are the essential features? First one is complete reliability, then absolutely certain discrimination, then quick operation, provision for manual control, provision for instruments. So these are all the essential features. Okay, so complete reliability means the switchgear is need for a reliable, it is a need for a reliable switchgear. Okay, that means your switchgear device which is used in power system is completely reliable to any condition. That means when fault occurs on any part of the power system, switchgear must operate to isolate the faulty section from the remaining healthy circuit. Okay, so complete reliable is must, then absolutely certain discrimination. That means when fault occurs on any system, on any section of the power system, the switchgear must be able to discriminate between the faulty section and the healthy section. Okay, so it should isolate the faulty section from the system without affecting the healthy section. So the next one is the quick operation. So when fault occurs on any part of the power system, the switchgear must operate quickly so that no damage is done to generator, transformer and other equipment, okay, by the short circuit current. Similarly, provision for manual control. So a switchgear must have provision for manual control. Okay, so in case of electrical or electronic control fail, the necessary operation can be carried out through manual control. Okay, then provision for instrument. So these are all the necessary, these are all the essential features for switchgear. Okay, the next one is the switchgear equipment. Under switchgear equipment, we will able to know about the switches, about circuit breaker, about relay. Okay, so under switches we will classify these switches in three categories. One is the air switches, oil switches. Okay, so air switches, how the air switches is see, air brake switches. It is an air switch and is designed to open circuit under load conditions. Okay, so normally air brake switch operate under load, full load condition. Okay, in order to quench the arc that occur on operating such a switch, a special arcing horn. See, these are the arcing horn. Okay, so arcing horn are provided. So arcing horns are piece of metal between which arc is formed during opening operation. As the switch opens, these horns are spread farther and farther apart. Consequently, the arc is lengthened. I already told you, if arc length increases, then the arcing resistance is also increased. So when arcing resistance increases, then through this arc path current flowing is also reduces. Okay, and finally your arc is extinguished. Okay, so arcing horns are piece of metal between which arc is formed during opening operation. As the switch opens, these horns are spread farther and farther apart. Consequently, the arc is lengthened, cooled and interrupted. Okay, so air brake switches are generally used outdoor for circuit of medium capacity. Okay, for medium capacity. So you generally find this air brake switch near any substation. Okay. Then the isolator. Isolator is a disconnecting switch. It is essentially a knife switch and is designed to open a circuit under no load condition. Particularly, it is operated in no load condition. So its main purpose is to isolate one portion of the circuit from other and is not intended to be opened while current is flowing in the line. Such switches are generally used on both sides of the circuit breaker. I already told you, if this is a circuit breaker, so it's on both sides of this circuit breaker isolator switches are used. So these are the isolator switches and this is circuit breaker. Okay, clear? Then oil switch. Similarly, in this oil switch, the contact of such switches are opened under oil medium. Okay, so usually the oil is the transformer oil. Okay, so the effect of oil is to cool and quench the arc, and that tends to turn when the circuit is opened. Okay, the next one is the next type of switch. First is the already switchgear. Under switchgear equipment, first you discuss, you know about switches, different types of switches, and then it is fuse. Already you know about fuse very well. Fuse is a short piece of wire or thin strip which melts when excessive current flows through it for sufficient time. Okay, so it is inserted in series with the circuit to be protected. So under normal operating condition, the fuse element is at a temperature below its melting point. Therefore, it carries normal load current without overheating. So however a short circuit or overload occur, the current through the fuse element increases beyond its rated capacity. So this raises the temperature and the fuse element melts, disconnecting the circuit protected by it. Okay, so in this way fuse protect the machine and equipment from damage due to excessive current. Okay, so next one is the circuit breaker. Already I told you what is this circuit breaker. A circuit breaker is an equipment which can open or close a circuit under this condition: no load condition, full load condition and fault condition. Okay, so it is so designed that it can be operated manually or by remote control or by manually or remote control under normal condition and automatically under fault condition. Okay, so see parts, this diagram represent a typical oil circuit breaker. Okay, and this is a circuit diagram for circuit breaker which is operated by relay circuit. Okay, so see how it operates. See, under normal operating condition the contacts remain closed. These are the contacts. The contacts remain closed and the circuit breaker carries full load current continuously. So in this condition the EMF in the secondary winding of the current transformer is insufficient to operate the trip coil of the circuit breaker, but the contacts can be opened. See, this is the physical diagram or typical all circuit breaker diagram. Already I told you this is a fixed contact, this is moving contact. It is on in normal condition, this is in closed condition, but when fault occur this moving contact pull down and here gap is formed, and during this stage an arc is formed inside this oil medium. Once the arc is formed, the arc is quenched by this oil, and then circuit breaker open the circuit. This is the air cushion space for whatever gas bubble generate while disconnecting this fixed contact and moving contact while formation of arc. Whatever gas bubble form that moved upward to this direction. That's why here air cushion space is provided. So this is the circuit diagram where circuit breaker is connected in addition with the relay circuit. This is the circuit breaker and this is the relay circuit. Okay, so here see, this is the fixed contact of circuit breaker, this is moving contact, this is a trip circuit, this is a constant DC source, this is trip coil, this is the fixed contact of trip circuit, this is relay coil, this is CT, primary winding of the CT. Okay, this is bus bar, this is the line. Clear? So how it operates, let's see. When in normal condition whatever current flowing in this feeder line or in this line that is transmitted to this section. So see, when normal current is flowing in this section and normal current is flowing in the primary of this city, then whatever EMF induced in the secondary of the city, which is also known as relay coil of the city, it is not energized in the normal condition. That's why this contact remain open and trip coil is not energized. But when fault current flow in this feeder or in this line, then the EMF induced in the secondary of city or relay coil is sufficient to energize this relay coil. Okay, so once this relay coil is energized, it will pull down this moving contact. Once it pull down this moving contact, then this circuit is closed. This trip circuit is closed. Once this trip circuit is closed, then now current can flow from this source of supply through this trip coil. So once current flow through this trip coil, then it is energized. Once it is energized, it pull down the moving contact of the circuit breaker. Now circuit breaker is opened. So this is the overall operation of relay circuit and circuit breaker. Okay, the next switchgear equipment is relay. I told you relay. What happens in relay? A relay is a device which detects the fault and supply. Okay, fault and supply information to the breaker for circuit interruption. Its main work is to detect the fault and giving supply information to the circuit breaker. Okay, so this is the typical relay circuit. It can be divided into three parts. First part is the primary winding of the city. This is the primary winding of the city, which is connected in series with the circuit to be protected. The primary winding often consists of main conductor itself. So, and the second circuit is the secondary winding of city. This is the secondary winding of city connected to the relay operating coil. Then the third circuit is the tripping circuit, which consists of source of supply, then trip coil of the circuit breaker and relay stationary contacts. So this is the trip circuit. Okay, so these are the three parts of the relay circuit. I already told you how it operates. Under normal condition, the EMF of the secondary winding of the city is small and the current flowing in the relay operating coil is insufficient to close the relay contacts. This keeps the trip coil of the circuit breaker unenergized. So consequently the contact of the circuit breaker remain closed and it carries the normal load current. Okay, but when fault occurs, a large current flow through the primary of CT. This increases the secondary EMF and hence the current through the relay operating coil. The relay contacts are closed and the trip coil of the circuit breaker is energized to open the contact of the circuit. So this is how the relay circuit will operate. The relay circuit is operating. Okay, so now you clearly understood about the different switchgear equipment. So in next class we will continue with this chapter. Okay, thank you.